liberalism fundamentally is seen as a product of enlightenment, and enlightenment is also a secularized Protestant reformation. Now, the question that is important is liberalism has three fundamental pillars on the basis of which it stands: representative institutions, equality before the law, and participative institutions in the when you're formulating a law. I think we don't need lessons on democracy from outside that, first of all, refutes the fact that if you happen to be a democratic society, or if you happen to be a society which has produced representative institutions, you're not a conservative society. On the contrary, you are a liberal society, going with the strictest sense of that particular word. Therefore, democracy is new to Europe post, let's say, Reformation and Enlightenment. It's not new to us. Please remember that. That's extremely important. Even kings had to govern based on popular will. The common man had a serious say in the rule of the king himself. That's important. People don't understand that. Second, as far as, let's say, equality before the law is concerned, the primary distinction that we struck with, let's say, with respect to the European version of liberalism is we effectively took a societal structure-based approach and sometimes maybe a Varna-based approach to equality before the law. Okay? And therefore, today people might say, how is this the same as being liberal? Because everybody is the same in the eyes of the law. I'm sorry, criminal law actually doesn't even operate equally for everyone. You take into account the societal status. You take into account whether the person has a track record. You take into account the fact whether the person is educated. You take into account whether the person was in a position to understand the consequences of the action that he committed. With all this being taken into account, how do you really treat law as equal even in the current version of European society? No, it doesn't function that way. That's the difference between a naive, theoretical and a vague understanding of equality and how it actually works on the ground. Therefore, before we proceed on rose-tinted notions of equality which has come from liberalism, which has come from Europe, and then say Hinduism or let's say the Dharmic society is a conservative society, no, these myths need to be busted. There is no basis for any of these assumptions. The more you read the nature of institutions as postulated by K.P. Jaiswal, he has written extensively on what we were and what was the notion of state. He's done extensive research on the subject. You read that along with Anand Kumaraswamy, each of these myths will be busted.